Today, our topic is DNA replication in molecular genetics in Chapter 5, Unit 2 in zoology. And we have come across the DNA, that is, DNA is the genetic material. So, we have discussed some of the experiments related to the DNA is the genetic material. How the characters are transmitting. What is DNA replication? We are going to see in this topic. Okay. DNA replication. So this DNA replication takes place in the S phase of cell cycle. In cell cycle, you have M phase, G1 phase, G0 phase and G2 phase and S phase. S phase is the synthesis of DNA. During that phase only, the DNA replication starts. Okay, and there are two strands of DNA. Okay, and based on the DNA replication, three hypotheses have been given: conservative replication, dispersive replication and semi-conservative replication. First, conservative replication. In conservative replication, the double helix, the original double helix is acting as a template. That means the original strand, two strands, no, DNA is a double helical, double stranded model. Okay, the two strands are involved in this replication process, so it acts as a template. And the original molecule, that is the original molecule is preserved intact, so it is kept as it is. And you are getting entirely, totally different double stranded molecule is synthesized. So conservative means the fully new DNA is formed from the old template. So the old parental form is kept as it is, kept as it is, and a new strand is formed. Okay, that is, a new strand is synthesized. New double helical model is synthesized. That means the fully model is synthesized. That is known as conservative replication. Dispersive replication. Dispersive means the original molecule break into fragments, that is, break into small pieces. And each piece, that is, each fragment act as a template and synthesizes the complementary factor, that is, fragments. So the two molecules are formed, and they have both old and new fragments. So dispersion means what? You are dispersing. When in a school assembly, after the assembly over, the school people leader says school disperse. So you from the assembly hall you are dispersing to your classes. Like that, the original DNA is broken into small pieces, and each piece acting as a template. Okay, from that new molecules are arise. Both old and new fragments are formed. This is called dispersive replication. Next, this is a conservative method of DNA replication. You can see this is the original strand. From the original strand, due to helicase enzyme, the two strands are, that is, this is the parental strand and this one is the parental strand. They got unwinded, and they acting as this parental strand acting as the template and forms the complementary strand, that is, with the help of RNA. So this is the leading strand. Okay, so this is the daughter strand, you can see, then, and it is the leading strand. It is formed. So it is formed. Okay, formed with the help of the template. Okay, and the original strand, that is the parental strand, is formed. That is, one is parental strand and one is daughter strand. That is called semi-conservative. That is, one is the original parental strand and the second one only newly formed daughter strand. So one is original, another one is new one. So it is called semi-conservative. Only one part is new. So semi-conservative method of DNA replication. So we will see in detail. So Watson and Crick in 1953 proposed the model, okay, double helix and semi-conservative method of replication. And there are two nuclei, that is polynucleotide. So this one polynucleotide strand and this one polynucleotide strand. So two polynucleotide strands are using, and these, that is here the covalent, here the bonding is there, no, this was broken by the helicase enzyme. So the helicase enzyme was put in. What happened? The that is the unwinding starts. Unwinding starts means, so they got separated. The parental strand got separated. Okay, got separated. Next, got separated, and after that, the parental strand acting as a template and a newly formed daughter strand is formed with the help of RNA fiber. That means one is the parental strand, another one is the daughter strand. So this like that, one is the original strand and only one is formed newly. So this method is called, that is newly formed one is complementary to the parental strand. So that is called semi-conservative method of replication. Next, experimental proof of DNA replication. So this was given by Michelson and Stalls in 1958. So differentiate the semi-conservative method and dispersive method of replication. What they had done means, they took two mediums, okay, two mediums. One is heavy isotope, that is the medium contain heavy culture medium with, so that is ammonium chloride, NH4Cl, ammonium chloride with the heavy that is heavy nitrogen isotope is N15, isotope nitrogen 15, and light culture was grown in a medium in which the nitrogen source contained light isotopes 14 nitrogen. For many generations the experiment was taken place. Okay, the experiment was taken place. At the end of the growth, they observed that the bacterial DNA in heavy culture contained only 15 nitrogen, and in the light culture only 14 nitrogen. Okay, the heavy DNA can be distinguished from light DNA. So 15N, why we are using 15 nitrogen isotope from 14 nitrogen isotope to differentiate the technique. Okay, for that they used cesium chloride. So at density gradient centrifugation to agitate the material, DNA material in the experimental method. So in this process, heavy and light DNA extracted from the cells in two cultures settled into two distinct and separate bonds. So they are separated in two distinct and separate band. So the heavy culture 15 nitrogen is transferred into the medium. So they are transferred into the medium that had only ammonium chloride. So that had only ammonium chloride, and they took the samples for definite time intervals, that is 20 minutes of duration. After the first replication, they extracted the DNA and subjected it to density gradient centrifugation. So the DNA settled into a band that was intermediate in position between the previously determined heavy and light bands. Okay, after the second replication, 40 minutes of duration, they again extracted the DNA samples, and this time the DNA settling into two bands. One is lighter band and another one is intermediate position. So this confirms the Watson and Crick semi-conservative method of replication hypothesis. Now we will see with the help of diagram. I will explain it. I just read it, the experimental proof. So what they had took means, that is they had took two culture medium. One is the heavy nitrogen 15 isotope. Another one is the light nitrogen 14. Okay, so this is, that is, now you are taking the heavy nitrogen that is ammonium chloride with the heavy nitrogen 15 isotope in a culture medium containing, that is culture medium. In that culture medium you are taking the bacterial DNA, E. coli bacterial DNA, and you are allowed to centrifugation position. So centrifugation, while centrifugation, what happens means, that is in centrifugation along with N14. Okay, along with N14 your centrifugation. In the first generation you get one, you can see the variation, the color. The one color is N15 DNA and another color is N14 DNA. This is in the first step. So both you have got in the 20 minutes duration. So the time duration is 20 minutes. So they are not satisfied with the result what Watson and Crick had did. Okay. And in 40 minutes duration, after the 40 minutes duration, they got the result, that is here the hybrid contains N14, N15 and only one band. But after 40 minutes of duration, what they are getting in the second generation, they got N14 separately and N15 and N14 intermediate position. So one purely N14, this is purely N14 and this is purely N14, and the middle it is an intermediate, they got it. Okay, so light and hybrid bands are appeared. So light and hybrid band of DNA is appeared in the after centrifugation process. So this proves the semi-conservative method, that is one is the parental form, another one is the hybrid. So what they had said, that they had concluded with that the semi-conservative method they supported, that is the Nielsen and Staffel experiment supports the semi-conservative method of replication, what Watson and Crick told. Okay, what they, according to the view, they had supported this with the help of experiment by Michelson and Stahls. Now the enzymes and the mechanism of replication. So the replication in prokaryotes, the replication process requires, for prokaryotes there are three enzymes are used, DNA polymerase 1, 2 and 3. And the DNA polymerase is the enzyme which involved more in DNA replication. So it plays an important role in DNA replication. And DNA polymerase is also known as, that is polymerase 1 is also known as Kernberg enzyme. So this they may ask in your 1 mark board exam as well as NEET, that is DNA polymerase 1 is also known as Kernberg enzyme. And DNA polymerase 2 involved in DNA repair mechanism. So it is involved in DNA that is repair mechanism. So first point, in prokaryotes, how many DNA polymerase enzymes are involved in prokaryotic DNA replication? 3. Polymerase 1, 2 and 3. And this polymerase is the main enzyme in DNA replication. And this enzyme is otherwise known as, that is DNA polymerase 1 is otherwise known as Kernberg enzyme. And DNA polymerase 2 is what is its function is DNA repair mechanism. Okay. And in eukaryotes, how many DNA means? 5 types of DNA polymerases are there, and they help in polymerization of nucleotides at 3-OH. So the newsstand with a short period of time. Okay, the newsstand with a short period of time, that is 3-OH. So the E. coli has 4.6 into 10 to the power of 6 base pairs, completes its replication process within 38 minutes. So that we have seen in the Nielsen and Staff, within 40 minutes the replication finishes. No. So 38 minutes the replication will over. This may they ask in 1 mark. The replication time process takes place in E. coli is 38 minutes. And how many base pair it has means 4.6 into 10 to the power of 6 base pairs. So the replication takes faster at the same time, accurately. So the replication starts very, that is it's the fast, because within 38 minutes the one replication completes. No, so it is faster and accurate time only, and any error may lead to, if there is any error, that lead to mutation. Okay, deoxynucleotide triphosphate act as a substrate and also provide energy for polymerization reaction. So for polymerization reaction, deoxynucleotides triphosphate are acting as a substrate and they give energy for polymerization reaction. So in E. coli, how many types of polymerase enzymes are there? 5 types, and they initiate polymerization of nucleotides at where 3-OH and a short period of time. How many base pairs are seen in E. coli? 4.6 into 10 to the power of 6 base pairs. What is the time duration? 38 minutes. And replication is faster and the time is accurate. If there is any delay or any error, that leads to mutation. Mutation means sudden change. So the replication errors are corrected by repair enzymes such as nucleases. Here, the replication error can be repaired by nuclease enzyme. So like DNA polymerase 2, this nucleases is also an repairing enzyme. Deoxynucleotide triphosphate acts as a substrate and gives energy for polymerization reaction. So the replication begins at an initiation site. So as we talk about the origin of replication in your botany, here also there is a site where replication starts. That is called origin of replication, ORI. In prokaryotes, only one origin of replication, but in eukaryotes, it is more. So there are more replicants, that is the site origin of replication is more, that we can say it as replicons. Since the two strands of DNA cannot be separated throughout at a time. So throughout at a time it cannot be separated. The replication occurs within a small opening of DNA helicase, that is called replication fork. And the unwinding of DNA is carried out by the enzyme helicase. In one strand, it is the template. So 3 to 5 dash, that is the polarity is 3 dash to 5 dash. And the replication is continuous, that is called leading strand. In other strand, that is 5 dash to 3 dash, the replication is discontinuous, that is called lagging strand. Lagging means you have some lagging. So that should be something had to fill it off. So you have lagging. Okay. So the discontinuous synthesized fragments of the lagging strand is called Okazaki fragments. Who found out means the Okazaki scientists have found out it. So the Okazaki fragments, and it is joined by DNA ligase. As they move away in both directions, newly synthesized complementary nucleotides are paired with the existing nucleotides on the parent strand and covalent bond together by DNA polymerase. The formation of new strand requires a primer, a short stretch of RNA for initiation. The primer produces 3-OH end on the sequence of ribonucleotides to which the deoxyribonucleotides are added. The RNA primer is ultimately removed and leaving a gap in the newly synthesized DNA strand. So it is removed from the 5 end one by one by the exonuclease. So exonuclease is added for the DNA polymerase activity. When all the nucleotides are in position, gaps are sealed by the enzyme DNA ligase. At the point of origin of replication, the helicase and topoisomerase, it is otherwise known as DNA gyrase, unwind and pull apart the strands, forming a Y-shaped structure which is called replication fork. So there are two replication forks at each origin. These two strands of DNA helix have an anti-parallel orientation, that is 3 to 5 and 5 to 3, like that the position. So the enzyme DNA polymerase can only catalyze the addition of the nucleotide to the new strand in the 5 3 direction, as it can only add the nucleotide to the 3 carbon position. So now I will explain with the help of, already you have seen in your botany. Now I will explain the mechanism of, that is replication, DNA replication and the fork. So this is the DNA strand, that is parental DNA duplex. Duplex is double stranded. What happened means, when the helicase was put here, this place, the unwinding, that is the winding is removed, and that is unwinding takes place, and the two parental strands are separated, okay, separated, and here the supercoiling takes place. This was removed by topoisomerase, and here the elongation of the strand and the formation of template RNA primer, okay, RNA primer is formed with the help of DNA polymerase enzyme 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 in eukaryotes, and in prokaryotes 3, okay, and this forms the leading strand. There is no, you can see there is no any break, it starts moving without any break, that is called the leading strand. And here you can see the small RNA bits, which is called Okazaki fragments. So that is, there is a lagging, you can see a gap between each strand, so that is called lagging strand, and this lagging strand is joined by DNA ligase. So by putting the DNA, by activating the DNA ligase, the lagging strand is formed to a new strand, that is a full strand, that is it is joined with the help of DNA ligase. And now the newly formed DNA is formed. After that the RNA primer is removed, okay, and it is in short RNA primers are seen, that is that in the lagging strand, and Okazaki fragments also, this was found out by Okazaki, so the name came it as Okazaki, and the lagging strand was joined by the DNA ligase enzyme. So what are the enzymes? Helicase and topoisomerase, also known as, topoisomerase is otherwise known as DNA gyrase. Okay, DNA gyrase, and polymerase plays an important role. DNA polymerases plays an important role in elongation and formation of new strand with the help of RNA primer. Okay, there are two strands, leading strand and lagging strand. Okay, the leading strand doesn't have any breakings, it forms straight away, and the lagging strand had lagging, that is the RNA primer is short and it is cut there and there, and it is joined by the enzyme ligase. And you can see it is an anti-parallel direction, you can see the 5' condition and a 3' condition. So, and same way 3' and 5'. Okay, like that the newly formed strand is also, here it is 3' and it is 5'. So in this way it runs, means it is in anti-parallel method. Okay, it is running in anti-parallel method, and you can see this is called the replication. This portion is called the replication fork, which looks like the letter Y, inverted Y, or inverted Y like shape structure. You can see that is called the replication force. So these are the enzymes involved in that is involved in the DNA replication. And one more enzyme is nucleases. Along DNA polymerases, nucleases is also acting in the that is repair mechanism of the DNA. When there is any repair occur in the during the DNA replication, that can be rectified with the help of nucleases enzyme. So please remember the DNA polymerases, helicases, topoisomerases, and DNA ligase and nucleases. So these are the enzymes are involved in the mechanism of DNA replication and formation of the fork, that is replication fork. So now you understand and think so with the help of the diagram. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, give a thumbs up, share and subscribe to Science Easy Tech channel.